Hello and welcome to We Poets. My name is Sally Baker and I'm the host of We Poets. We Poets is a poetry show for boys and girls between the ages of 6 and 13. So if you would like to be on the program, please have your parents call me. I'm always looking for new boys and girls to come each week. Also, if you are a teenager between the ages of 13 and 19, we're always looking for dependable interns to come and get free training as an intern and produce our show. Also, I'm always looking for adult guests to come and tell boys and girls and the ladies and gentlemen watching our show something about their jobs and careers. And tonight we have two lovely ladies who are going to come and talk about black dolls. So I know we're going to have an interesting program. We have one poet tonight and she's going to tell us all about herself. So here we go. Hello, young lady.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
Good.
Could you look there at camera 3 and tell us your name and how old you are and what grade you're going to be in when school starts?
My name's Ayana. I'm 10 years old and I'm going to be going to Longfellow.
Great. And what do you think you're going to like best about going back to school again?
Doing a lot of work. And making new friends.
That's right. Why is it important that we have friends?
So that way they could always like watch your back.
That's right. That's right. Now you like to write poetry, right? Mm-hmm. What have you written for us tonight, please?
I wrote 2 poems.
And what are they about?
They're about one of them is about the dark and then the other's about dolls.
Okay, look right there at the camera and let's hear it nice and loud, please.
The dark. The dark is not unfriendly. The dark is not scary. The dark can be your friend and can show you many beautiful things, like the bright glowing moon, the bright shining stars, and if you're lucky, when all the lights are out on Earth, you could see the Milky Way galaxy. So don't be afraid of the dark. It can show you many beautiful things.
Great, let's clap. Wasn't that great? Okay, let's hear your second one, please.
Dolls. Dolls have beautiful colored hairstyles that match their beautiful clothes. Their hair comes in all different colors that it is like a rainbow. Their eyes are so beautiful that they sparkle in the sunlight, and their smile is so friendly that you can be best friends with them forever.
Great, let's clap for that. Good. Now tonight we have 2 ladies who make dolls, so you're going to learn a lot, and I'm going to learn a lot too. Have you ever made a doll?
No.
Not a doll, but I know you've made something, right? Mm-hmm. Tell us what you've made and show it to the camera, please.
I made a purse. I used fabric, and I shaped it into like a square kind of like shape. And first, I chose the fabric, then I shaped it, then I hand sewed it, and then after that, I used the sewing machine, and then I took out all the hand sewing out.
Great. Now, where did you learn to sew? It's basically on a sewing machine.
I learned at Eve Roz sewing camp.
Good, good. That was last year?
Yes.
And how many children went to the camp beside you?
Like about 10 kids.
Wow. And how long did you stay? Couple weeks?
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
And what else did you do there?
We watched movies on how like sew.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to the park.
Good,
for
good.
lunch.
So you had lots of fun.
Yeah.
Did you take a vacation this summer?
Yes.
Where did you go? Look at the camera and tell us where you went and what you did.
I went to Six Flags.
Ooh.
And I rode some cool rides like Medusa and V2. And I also went to another camp. It's a music camp at Longfellow. And there I played my flute, and we played, and then me and my band played some cool songs like Dark Fortress, on The Twilight Zone, and Beauty and the Beast.
Wonderful. How long have you been playing the flute?
For maybe like 3 years.
Wow. You like the flute. Do you play another instrument? Uh-huh. So tell me, when you graduate from high school and college, what kind of job do you think you'd like to pursue?
A fashion designer and a scientist and a flutist.
Wonderful. Those are 3 good careers that you could pursue. Now, is there anything else you'd like to tell me about you? This is your first time on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You did a wonderful job. Are you nervous?
Nope.
No, and you look so beautiful. I'm so proud of you, and your family's so proud of you. Tell us who else came in your family to watch you tonight.
My mom, dad, and 2 brothers.
Good. And I'd like to have your brother come on another time. He's going to write me a poem and come another Friday night. Okay? Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming, and we're going to hear from you the second half when the ladies come on and show their dolls. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the second half of We Poets. I'm Sally Baker, the host. I would now like to introduce you to my very 2 special guests for tonight. They are doll makers, and they're going to tell us all about this wonderful craft. On my right here is Karen. I'm going to let her pronounce her last name for you.
Oyakami.
Good, good. And on my left here is Cheryl. And Cheryl, what's your last name, please?
Buckley.
Buckley, that's an easy one to remember.
Yes, it is.
And they are from the American Black Beauty Dolls artist, and they're going to tell us all about this wonderful craft. And so my first question is, tell me how the American Black Beauty Dolls artist got started.
Well, the concept of the American Black Beauty Doll artist got started in 1983. After I was a young mother and I had a little girl, and I was looking for dolls that would represent her and show, reflect her beauty. So there wasn't much on the market at that time that reflected little black girls. So I decided that I would start the American Black Beauty Doll artist and start making black dolls. And Cheryl here was one of my first students that started with me with the making black porcelain dolls.
And Cheryl, you've been making dolls ever since?
Yes, I have.
Tell us a little bit about your background then.
I started making dolls for my children, sewing the rag doll, and making them life-size. I laid them down and actually draw around them and make the doll as Christmas gifts, and they loved those dolls. Then I went into porcelain. I learned to pour the molds, to actually clean and finish the doll, firing it and everything. And now I'm kind of venturing into cloth dolls. It's a little harder for me to, but that's where I'm venturing into
That's
now.
where you're venturing.
Yes,
Well,
the
bless
molds
your
are
heart.
getting too heavy to pour.
To pour, yes.
Yes.
Good. Now, my second question is, what kind of dolls do you ladies make?
Well, we make porcelain dolls. Like, for example, this is a porcelain doll, and porcelain is like china, like what fine plates are made out of. So they're very fragile, even more fragile before they're in the finished state. They're almost like clay, so if you clean them too hard, they just crush in your hand like an egg. And they have to be fired in a really, really hot oven that gets to 2,700 degrees. So Cheryl and I in our doll club, we have like about 4 kilns, and where we have about 500 molds that we have done ourselves, where we sculpt our own work, and molds that we have purchased. So it is quite an art form, and we are determined to keep it going.
Yes.
So this is a porcelain one. Also, this is one that Cheryl made, a porcelain baby doll with cloth body, and this one is all porcelain.
Now, tell us, what are you going to do this special one?
Now this one is a replica of Ruby Bridges, and Ruby Bridges is an activist that lives in Louisiana, I believe, and she was one of the first black child to desegregate the schools in the South. She desegregated William Frantz Elementary School in Louisiana in 1960. And so we are honoring Ruby Bridges as being a courageous, brave African American that desegregated the schools in the South in 1960. And someone will win her.
Win her how?
Win her by buying raffle tickets at the African American Museum Library, where we will hold our show November 4th of this year at the African American Museum Library at 659 14th Avenue in Oakland, California. We'll be there from 10 to 5 on Saturday, November 4th.
Good. So I hope our watching audience will all turn out.
Yes.
Now, my next question, what kind of training did you take before you became doll artists, or were you self-taught? We sort of
Sort of
hit on that, but let's
yes.
expand.
But like I said, we sort of learned sewing, and so that we picked up sewing and the patterns that were available then. But then when we went into porcelain, we had to go to classes, and at the classes we learned to actually clean the doll. And we ventured out on our own into learning to pour the dolls, purchase our own molds, and pour the dolls. This one here was one of my first dolls.
Isn't she beautiful?
She came in white, but we poured her in a black slip. And at first we had to mix up our slip to get the colors that we wanted. And it took off, and so now they started manufacturing the colors. They saw that we as black people wanted colors that represented us.
Now, did you get a trademark to do this?
No.
No trademark. Well,
No
you should get a
trademark.
trademark so somebody else doesn't steal your idea.
Yeah, they
Well, they
stole it a
already
long
did
time
that
ago.
already.
Oh, no. Yes. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
Oh. So tell us, what is she made of?
She's porcelain. She's has porcelain hands, head, and she has a cloth body, which is we sew the body and we attach it, and then attach the neck and the arms with wire.
Wow. So about how many hours did it take you to make her?
Maybe about 15.
15 hours.
Yes, because you go through, let me see, on her, about 3 firings to get the colors, the cheeks in and everything, and then sew in the body and everything.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
Dear. Wow, that's a lot of work. Now, you want to talk about some of these lovely dolls here on the sofa.
Now these dolls here are ones that we teach in our workshops.
Oh.
We do about 4 workshops a year, and this is the ones here is from a pattern that we designed, the Gracie May pattern. And our students, when they make them, they all have their own personalities. They'll either make them to look like themselves or maybe one of their family members or just out of their imagination. So this is one of the workshops that we do, the Gracie May workshop. And this one here is for our younger students, the ages 7 to 12. We will be teaching them how to make an 18-inch cloth doll. And this is a sample of our workshop that is coming up next month. And they'll learn how to make a a cloth doll. They'll learn how to operate a machine, cut out a pattern, and paint the doll, make her dress. And our purpose of doing these workshops, especially with the young people, is to keep this craft going. It's an art form that we don't want to be lost. And the children really get into it. They get into the moment of doing something with their hands, using their mind, their imagination, and they don't even think about their phones. They really get into what it is to make a beautiful piece of art, because this is art. And also our make and take workshops, which we have twice a year. We just got through doing the Festival of Knowledge at the African American Museum Library, and the young people learned how to make spoon fairies or garden fairies made out of spoons.
Can you take one out and hold it up?
Yes, this one, here we go.
Hold it up to camera 3 here and tell us.
This one, they use, we painted the spoon and they designed with all different types of flowers, and then we put it on a tongue depressor. And they said, well, mine's is going to be for a tomato, so it'll go down in the ground in the tomato, for their tomato plants. And they're weatherproof because these are, fabric and then the plastic spoons, and their just imaginations just took off. So they had a wonderful time at the Festival of Knowledge, which is twice a year also at the African American Museum Library in Oakland. And so this is just a variety of all the different ways they made it, and they have the wings.
It's very colorful. Can you get that out?
Oh, she's glued in the pot.
That's all right. That's all right.
And
That's
she
all
has
right.
her little wings and earrings.
Oh.
So it was wonderful to see how the young people's imagination, and we had young at hearts also. Our oldest participant was 83 years old.
Bless her
so,
heart.
it really brings together community and creativity, and we look forward to doing these workshops.
Now, mostly do you have girls and ladies, or do you have boys?
We
and
have
men?
boys too.
Good,
in our
good.
class for this doll, one of the young people is he's 7 years old, and he's going to be making a boy doll with his outfit. So he's very excited about doing the workshop.
Yes. Tell how you make the hair.
Now the hair, we use either yarn. This is yarn here, and this one is human hair.
Oh.
This one is from my daughter, who is now 35 years old.
Oh, heavens.
She has dreads, and she says, "Mom, I have some hair for you." So I can't sell this one. And this one, we use synthetic hair, so it's a variety of different materials.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, back to you. Tell us about this doll here. We haven't talked about this doll and this one.
This one is from what we call liquid-shade.
Oh.
It's a form of paper mache,
Oh, yes.
and so that you let it air dry,
Oh.
and then you have to sand it down, and then you paint it and put her together and sew her outfit.
Wonderful. It's like she's going through the woods with her basket
Yes,
together.
it's
Nuts
Little Red Riding
Little
Hood.
Red Riding Hood.
Yes.
Isn't she sweet? And you made all the clothes for her? Or do you buy them at a store?
This is her doll.
Yeah, this
so
one
I
is
mean,
we did all the clothes.
You made all the
Yeah,
clothes.
and that's mostly we do make the clothes because of the size of the dolls vary, so we have to make our own outfits.
And you have sewing machines that you teach the girls how to sew?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
About how many students do you have in each class?
About 4. We
just
try to
4.
have it one-on-one, and it depends on who's available.
Oh.
So like our last camp, we had 4 adults available. So we were one-on-one.
Good.
Which made it so wonderful.
Yes.
Because nobody had to wait.
Wait.
And each one had a machine.
Oh.
And we taught them the sewing, the actual sewing, the actual cutting out the pattern, and they did all the work themselves.
Oh, good,
Yes.
good. Now, why don't we talk about this doll here on the end? We haven't talked about her.
My best girlfriend made this for me for my birthday. And she does did do a lot of online classes.
Oh.
And that's where she got this pattern for, and she's very studious. She made not only the doll, the outfit, she dressed it with the beads and everything, so this is a treasure of mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all so unique and so different.
Yes.
Oh, about how many dolls have each of you made individually?
Oh, good grief.
Hundreds?
I think I made over 50 dolls.
Over 50.
Yes.
And how many have you made?
Well, I've made about 400
400?
because I label them.
Oh,
She's very studious.
I just
oh.
Kinda
Do you give
manage
each
it.
one a name?
Depending on if I design it myself, then I'll name them and I'll number it. I'm doing a lot of one of a kind. I've done all my children and I've done all my grandchildren except for my last grandson. I haven't done him yet. So as Cheryl and I said, we sculpt and make personalized dolls too. So I do a lot of one of a kinds. Yeah.
Oh, dear. Now, is there anything else here on the table? Oh, we haven't talked about what's here in the base on the end. What's that?
You could pull it out. They're pencils.
We'll pull it out and let's show it. Hold it up here to camera one. Tell us about it, please.
And this one is made from Sculpey face, where you press the Sculpey in the mold, and then you have to oven bake it, and then you paint on the faces, and wrap it up like you would like to have it wrapped up, and glue it to a pencil, so that you have your own
Personalized.
Isn't that wonderful? And the children could take these to school.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they'd be a hit at school.
For sure.
Or at Sunday school, you know. Oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now, let me see if there's any more questions here I forgot to ask. Where can your audiences see these beautiful black dolls?
Well, at this time, some of our dolls are on exhibit at the African American Museum Library in Oakland at 659 14th Street in Oakland, and also at Somo Arts in San Francisco. We have some of our dolls on exhibit at Somo Arts in San Francisco on Brannan Street until August 26th. And then our big show will be November 4th at the African American Museum and Library from 10 to 5, and there'll be over 1,000 black dolls and dolls of color. It is something to see. Don't
I
miss
can
it.
imagine we're going to have to come.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be great. Now, is there anything else you'd like to bring out about maybe the student? How do you go out to like schools too and teach this, or just in your own workshop?
We have gone to schools. We went to E.C. Reams. Their student auxiliary invited us in to do a
Wonderful.
workshop with them. Right now, we're working out of a home, so that we have everybody together.
Great.
Our studio is kind of hard to find.
Oh, yes.
And we're in the process of packing and finding another place to move.
Good. Well, I hope so. You'd like to stay in Oakland, though.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. We're trying to stay in Oakland.
Definitely.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to have our poet come on before we end. And I want to thank you, ladies, very
Thank
much.
you.
So,
Thank
boys
you
and
so
girls, and
much.
ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Our poet is going to join us before we say goodbye. And now our lovely poet has joined us, and she has some questions she's going to ask our two artists. So here we go.
What's your favorite doll?
Well, my favorite doll is not here today, is of my daughter, and I really love it. I would never sell it. I sculpted it myself from when she was 2 years old. She's 35 now, and I still have that doll, and that's one of my favorites.
Great. Where do you have her displayed in your house?
She is in my middle room, which I reserve for dolls.
For dolls, and I bet it's filled with
Yes,
dolls.
it is.
Okay. Do you have another question for Miss Cheryl?
How long did it take for you to make Red Riding Hood?
This one would take about 15 days because it has to air dry before you can work with it. Once you air dry it, and air drying takes about 5 or 6 days.
Can you tell us what is air drying?
When you just sit it out to dry.
Oh, just like on the table here?
Yes.
Oh, you don't have to put it in the kiln.
No,
No, this is
Oh.
what's that
Good.
material called? That
that's
now we can't remember.
You get,
I
that's all
said it.
right. That's all right. That's all right. Now, did you have another question, please?
How long did you guys work at the workshop?
Well, we've been doing workshops for about 15 years, working with young people, both boys and girls. We've had, I think, about 6 boys over that period of time. And now we do about 4 workshops a year. And we also do a make and take workshop every November at our doll show,
What's a make and take workshop?
where you make it right there and you take it with you.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, that's
And
good.
these here take about a week. We have a class every day for a week.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Would you like to take their doll making class? Mm-hmm. Maybe you and Mom can go.
Yeah.
And your 2 brothers too. Yes. Yeah, that would be a family affair, making dolls. Beautiful. Yes. Cheryl, did you have anything you would like to ask?
Oh, you just asked. I was going to ask her if she thought that she would like to make a doll. And what type of doll would you like to make?
I would like to make any kind of dolls.
Any
All
kind.
right.
That's a
great.
variety.
That's
A
right. And we
variety.
know how to do that.
Would you have a question you'd like to ask her?
Well, I just loved your purse and the fact that you designed it and did it, the stitching by hand, and then got on the machine. I was telling Cheryl, oh, she's got what it takes.
Good.
So we would love to have you make some dolls because you've really got talent.
Yes,
and I
yes.
enjoyed your poems too. It was beautiful.
Did she do a good job?
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
you did.
And we're going to
Yes.
have her brother come on and do
Yes,
his thing. Yes,
good.
indeed. So
Looking
he
forward
knows
to
what
that.
he's going to do. Yes. Anything else you'd like to tell the watching audience before we end our show? Nothing else. Did you have fun tonight?
Yeah, I had fun.
Oh, good. You did a wonderful job, and I'd like to have you come back again, too. Yes. Any parting words?
Well, I'm just looking forward to everyone coming to the show November 4th from 10 to 5 at the African American Museum Library in Oakland.
Good. Cheryl, any parting words?
I just love being here. I love exposing the dolls to a whole wide range of audience, and I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Well, I'm sure they did. I want to thank all 3 of you for coming,
Thank
and I know
you.
you're going to get lots of calls,
Thanks.
and I know that auditorium's going to be filled when you have that
Yes.
show, and
Yes.
we're all going to be rooting for you.
Thank you so
And
much.
boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be a poet on the program, like our wonderful poet's been here tonight, please have your parents or your school teacher call me. And if you would like to be a guest, like our 2 lovely women here have been tonight, please call me. I'm always looking for guests. And if you're a teenager and would like to be an intern on our program, I'm always looking for interns, and we need sponsors. We're a nonprofit organization, so if you would like to sponsor We Poets, please contact me. We're a nonprofit, so you can use it as a tax write-off. So we're always looking for everybody. So without further ado, let's say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.